Hey y'all. Not too long ago, I was having a conversation with someone at my job, right? And I asked them a question pertaining to angels, God's holy angels. I asked that person, did they believe in them? And the reply was no. So, with me being me, I still shared my testimony with them that included an angel that watched over my bag that I left in the mall, KOP, during the most busiest and crowded times of the year, which is Christmas. And I believe that sharing your testimony to an unbeliever is a part of ministry because angels and God go hand in hand. They are ministering spirits sent by God, and they carry out the will of God. And just as people, many people, don't believe in God, Jesus the Christ doesn't take away the fact of his existence, the assurity of his existence. No matter what they believe, he does exist. And it's the same with God's holy angels. You don't have to believe in them, but they do exist. They are angelical, holy beings created by God, sent by God to do the will of God, ministering spirits that do far more than people think they do. And I imagine one of the greatest assignments they had was ministering to their God, their Creator, Jesus the Christ. Remember, y'all, in Matthew 4, Jesus was led up by the Spirit in the wilderness to be tempted by the devil. After the last temptation, Jesus told Satan to get away, and the devil left him. Then the scripture says in 4 verse 11, and behold, angels came and ministered to him. Y'all, can you imagine how they felt? This is him, our God, who sits on the throne that we give all praise, glory, and honor to, who left glory and is now on the earth in the flesh, and we get to minister to him? They may not know who he is, but we do, because we beheld his glory in heaven. We have seen him. We have observed him. We know him. And I remember in the book of Daniel, when Daniel prayed on behalf of the people, the children of Israel, and himself, asking God to forgive them for their transgressions and their sins. And an angel appeared to Daniel and said his prayers were heard and answered as soon as Daniel opened his mouth, because Daniel was beloved. He was beloved. And the angel told Daniel how he was delayed because he had to battle with the devil for 21 days, and how Michael, one of the chief angels, had to help him. Now, Michael, the warring angel, and Gabriel, the one who told Mary that she will be carrying the Son of God, Gabriel, are the holy angels that people are familiar with. But all of the 7 archangels include Uriel, Raphael, Raquel, Michael, Serakel, Gabriel, and Remiel, God's holy angels. Each have different functions, but all are directed by God. And I'm always reminded of what happened in Matthew 26:52 when Peter struck the servant of the high priest and cut off his ear, right? So when he did that, Jesus said, "Put your sword away. You use the sword, you perish by the sword." Then he said this, y'all. Jesus said, "Or do you think that I cannot now pray to my Father, and he will provide me with more than 12 legions of angels?" Y'all, one legion is 6,000. Jesus says more than 12 legion of angels. That's a lot of angels. So in other words, Jesus was saying, you don't have to defend me. I got this. This is happening because I'm allowing it to happen. No one is taking my life, but I'm laying my life down. More than 12 legion of angels. And I want to just close with this. A lot of people who have listened to me heard me, well, in the past, I would talk about my stepmom and my dad, who's no longer here. And they were very anointed, and they seen things that other people couldn't see in the spirit. And one thing that they would see, both of them were angels. And I'll never forget, my stepmom was telling me, she said, Tree, she said, one day when we were coming back because her parents lived in Philly, where I live at now, and my dad and them moved to Maryland. And she said we were going back and forth, we would drive 95 to go take care of my mom and to go take care of business in Philly. We have to come back. She said, and your dad was driving nonstop. She said he was so tired. She said, and I told him, Jerry, you have to rest. You can't drive. You're not going to make it. And he was like, oh, I'll be all right. I'll be all right. So she said, we're on the road and it's nighttime and your dad is tired, but he's driving. She said, and it was strange that your dad was driving smooth and he wasn't speaking. He wasn't saying anything. She said, and I would say, Jerry, you all right? She said, and he would just smile. She said, but he wouldn't say anything. She said, so finally we pulled up to the house and the car stopped and we get in front of the house. And she said, my dad says, Julia, what happened? How do we get home? And she said, what do you mean? She said, you've been driving the whole time. And he says, I don't remember driving. He said, I don't remember driving. All I know is that it's like I'm just waking up like out of a trance. But I don't remember how we got back here. And she said, I was wondering why you wasn't responding. You just smiled. And they both looked at each other and said, that was an angel. An angel took over the wheel and drove them all the way home. Now, some people may say, oh, that's a bunch of bull, but I believe it. And I know it happened because my stepmom, she would see angels. Well, she was born to see spirits. She would see spirits. And she would see angels, 7-foot angels that will be visible to her. Other people couldn't see them, but she saw them. And my dad seen them. They do exist, y'all. I'm telling you, they do. And they do more than what people think they do. And I know for myself, And I never shared this with anyone except for my stepmom. And one morning I was getting ready to go to work, and I got up, got dressed, and I'm getting in my car at 7 o'clock in the morning, and I'm driving down the street, and I see this white, I mean, y'all, it wasn't a bird. It was just so big, and it flew past me. It flew like over my car and just went right ahead of me. And I was like, what was that? And I told my stepmom, and she said that was an angel. She said that was an angel. And I was like, wow, I believe it. Y'all, angels, they do exist. They do exist. And a lot of times people are protected and they don't know why. Next time you don't know why, think of God's holy angels. I hope someone is blessed by this message. Y'all have a blessed night. Bye.